Gemini, you are up for the 2023 Tarot Energy Reading. Before I go any further, KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. All right. So this is the 2023 reading, obviously. I'm recording this in November. So if you happen to watch this before 2023 in November, watching it now, all of the November readings are up. So the general readings are up, the love readings are up, and the money readings are up for November. Collective readings, full moon in Taurus has been done. I did a Halloween reading, and I've done multiple other collective readings just randomly throughout the weeks. Whatever reading you watch or listen to, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it's not your story, don't try to make it fit. I'm just a person sitting here reading energy in the tarot cards. You know your story better than I ever could. Now that I said that, let's get into the reading. May I have the energy for Gemini for 2023? May I have the energy for Gemini for 2023? May I have the energy for Gemini for 2023? What is it that Gemini needs to hear? What is it that Gemini needs to hear? What is it that Gemini needs to hear? May I have a card, please? Okay. That came out for Taurus. Okay, so some of you might be a May, Gemini, Taurus cusp. So, yeah, so your birthday may be around May the 22nd, maybe May the 23rd, around that time, where you're like a Gemini, Taurus cusp. Or, this is just your energy. It says romantic love, number 39, romantic love. And it says, again, the frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. Let me read that again. The frequency of romantic love supports our journey to feel whole and complete through the experience with and reflection of a conscious lover. So, same thing I told Taurus. This is about someone being present. If you're dealing with love with someone, it's about them being present, about them making the effort, about them hearing you, listening to you, being engaged with you on things that are important to you. That is what this is about. This is saying, with those things I mentioned, this is how the relationship flourishes for those of you dealing with love. All right. Now, let's go ahead and get a more overall view for 2023 and see what we get. Energy for Gemini for 2023. Energy for Gemini for 2023. Energy for Gemini for 2023. What is it that Gemini needs to hear? What is it that Gemini needs to hear? What is it that Gemini needs to hear? Energy for Gemini. Thank you. For 2023. Yeah, some of you are definitely a Taurus cusp or Gemini Taurus cusp because the Empress came out, which is Taurus, Libra, and Cancer energy. So, yeah, somebody has some Taurus in their chart. I'm not taking those because they didn't fall. Thank you. Interesting. Lots of major arcana so far. Because 2 cards that came out are major arcanas. Thank you. That really fell out. Oh, I like that. So, card that fell out. Oh, I thought that was the 5. It's the Prince. Somebody is not dealing with in and out love in 2023. That is the vibe I'm starting to pick up. Because the Empress came out first, which can be about pregnancy, it can be about new ideas, it can be about new beginnings, it can be about abundance, it can be about being chased, pursued, because the Empress doesn't chase anyone. The Empress doesn't have to chase anyone because the Empress is the Empress. So yeah, some people might be pursuing you, but this is the thing. The Devil card came out too. This is Capricorn energy. And then the Prince of Wands came out, which I look at the Prince as the Knight. So, but it came out in the reverse. I honestly feel like some of you are saying no to in and out energy. My nose is itching. Who talking about me? Ooh. Okay. So you're saying no to in and out energy is what you're doing in 2023. The only thing that you're accepting, and that's the other thing too, I really feel that some of you, especially going into 2023, will have very, very, very high standards. As in, I talked about this, I forgot what reading it was. It was somebody's reading. It was one of the love readings, I think. But it was about this girl who sort of went viral because she was like, I'm not paying for... She's like, I'm not paying for dinner. And then also the guy, like she went out on a date with the guy. And then it was time for a second date, but he couldn't pick her up. So he was like, well, why don't you catch an Uber and then we'll meet there? But then she was thrown off because she was like, okay, I need clarification. Are you asking me to get the Uber for myself, or are you going to pay for the Uber to pick me up? And he's like, well, no, you can go ahead and get the Uber yourself, and then we can just go ahead and meet at the restaurant for dinner. And she's like, I can't do that. I'm not paying for my Uber. She's like, either you can come pick me up or you can pay for my Uber to come to you, but I'm not doing any of that. I kid you not. And she had all of these requirements. And usually the guy or the guys that she's dealt with, for the most part, would meet what her requirements were. And people looked at her kind of funny because, first of all, beauty is subjective. What someone thinks isn't beautiful, another person may think is beautiful. So that's whatever. However, the reaction on the internet was, it's like, okay, wait a second. How does she have all of these demands based off of what they thought beauty was? And that's the thing. It doesn't matter whether you're beautiful or not. That's whatever. What matters is, what is your energy? That's what matters. What is your energy? And it doesn't matter if you're male or female either, because energy is energy. If your energy is the Empress energy, you will not accept anything less than the best. That is what the Empress energy is. The Empress does not accept anything less than the best. So if you're going into that energy in 2023, I feel when it comes to love and dating, they're going to have to go through a whole checklist before they can even sit with you. That's what I feel is going to happen in 2023. I feel part of it is because you let stuff slide in the past when you dated people and you were like, oh, well, that's not a big deal. And then over time, it became a big deal. And you're like, what? I already knew this was going to bug me at the beginning. Why didn't I just nip this in the bud then? Going into 2023, I feel like you're just not giving any passes. Things before you may have given a pass in 2022. But now for dating, you're not giving any passes in 2023. May I have some more cards, please? Okay, what is this? What fell out? Wow, stability. So you have King of Cups and the Four of Wands. I don't know why I was about to say the Queen of Wands. Some of you might be dealing with the fire sign, like a Sagittarius. Sagittarius comes to mind. But King of Wands is Scorpio energy specifically. It's water energy, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, but specifically King of Wands is Scorpio, not King of Wands, King of Cups is Scorpio energy. The Four of Wands is about stability. It can be about an upgrade. But also Four of Wands can be about celebration. And it can be about a focus on the home too. If you see that home in the background. I feel that for some of you, you might find stability, especially emotional stability, with someone who might be a water sign. Which is interesting because Geminis usually end up dating Scorpios. I don't know what it is about that relationship between those two signs with Geminis, because it's usually Geminis and Scorpios and Aries and Libra, Cancer and Aquarius. And what's another relationship where it's like these two signs always seem to I feel like there's another duo where it's like, But yeah, I feel like some of you might be dealing with a Scorpio too. So either you're dealing with a Sagittarius or a Scorpio. Again, or you will be in 2023. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. What's at the bottom of the deck? Nine of Pentacles. So yeah, single energy is what that is. Which Nine of Pentacles is also pre-Empress energy. I really feel that financially, you don't necessarily need anyone. I feel that a good bit of you are fine being single. And you can stand on your own being single. Which might be, again, why your standards are so high. Because you don't need anyone. So there isn't any reason to compromise. It's like, okay, well, I'm doing fine by myself. So, yeah, I can see that energy. But the strongest energy that I'm picking up is not accepting anything less than the best. You want people to be present in the relationship. You want someone who wants to build Four of Wands with you. That's what I feel. I'm not going to drag this out. That's the message for 2023. This really turned out to be a love reading, which is fine. I guess that will be your focus for 2023 for some of you, is love. But as you focus on love, you have your standards too. And if they don't meet your standards, you're not even going to entertain it. And like I said, you are being pursued. This Knight of Wands and this Devil card right here, that's letting me know that you are being pursued in 2023, but you're more than likely going to say no. At least to them. I feel there will be others that come along too, like this King of Cups. All right, so that is your message. KIRWKC.com, main podcasting platform. This podcast is carried on Apple, Spotify, Google, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Overcast, Bullhorn, Amazon Music, Audible, and several other podcasting platforms. Please feel free to listen to this podcast on whatever platform is most convenient for you. KIRWKC on all the social media platforms. Till next time, Gemini, be blessed.